the task ahead.
My Lords, it's a pleasure to follow the Noble Viscount and to join, I think, everyone in thanking the Noble Earl of Kinnoul for both securing this debate in such a timely manner and to thank the Noble Earl and his committee for the excellent report. I note the Earl's comments about, and indeed those also of the Noble Lord Hannay, about emissions trading schemes and carbon border adjustments. I won't repeat them, but I'd certainly like to associate myself with the concerns expressed. What we have here really is a committee report that produces a huge amount of sense in the midst of so much nonsense from the government. To take just one recent example, the long, unnecessarily drawn-out, politically biased delay so deeply damaging and draining to the scientific community in the process by which we finally rejoined the Horizon programme. I feel that I should begin by setting out the Green Party's position to demonstrate to your Lordship's House and the country that there is a political force ready to stand up for the clear best interests, economic, social and environmental, of the country and for the wishes of the people. The Green Party is working to make us rejoin ready so the UK can rejoin the EU when the political conditions are right. In the meantime, many of the worst problems created by Brexit would be eased by rejoining the customs union, negotiating the return of freedom of movement of people between the UK and the EU, and signing up to a comprehensive agreement covering the protection of human, animal and plant life. Brexit has been all pain and no gain. I start where I always start, with the losses of all Britons, but particularly the young, who have suffered from this loss of freedom of movement. Their awareness of this was referred to by the Noble Lord Balfe. These are the young people who in 2016 overwhelmingly voted to maintain their European future, and who no doubt today would do so even more overwhelmingly. Although, as we've seen from the Prime Minister's speech this afternoon, the Tory party clearly is no longer interested in attracting the votes of young people. Young people today have considerably fewer freedoms and opportunities. The loss of Erasmus Plus is just one part of that, and I am delighted that the committee recommends resuming participation. But far larger is the fact that they can no longer, from Victoria Coach Station, just down the road from where we sit tonight, start a journey to Poland or Finland, Spain or Croatia. I looked it up. Tomorrow at 7 a.m, you could get on a coach to go to Warsaw for £91. And you could stay there or anywhere else across the EU, explore, find work or study, make friends or find a partner, settle down across a continent with the wonderful freedom that their parents enjoyed, that young people no longer have. Youth mobility schemes are clearly essential, as the committee recommends in paragraph 333. Then, of course, there are the economic effects. And I hope the Noble Lady Baroness Ball and the Noble Earl of Clancarty will forgive me for joining their chorus of focusing on the creative sector, the musicians, the theatre groups and many others who've been forced to lay down their careers on the altar of so-called sovereignty. But also hit hard are the small and medium enterprises who've lost half or more of their markets, blocked by the impossibility of import controls and custom duties from customers who've now been forced to go elsewhere. Their businesses were sacrificed on the false promise of replacement trade with far distant Japan or Australia, with trade deals that not only have no hope for those businesses, but threaten the futures of our farmers and our already dangerously inadequate food security. Now, I want to turn to a couple of specific environmental elements of the committee's findings, which I'm afraid may well have been overtaken by the events of this afternoon. Paragraph 192 recommends regular meetings between the UK Secretary of State for Energy Security and Net Zero and the European Commissioner for Energy. Well, yes, although whether they will regard us as in any way a serious partner after this afternoon's climate horror movie starring Rishi Sunak, I have to doubt. Paragraphs 206 and 7, the committee suggests full membership of the North Seas Energy Cooperation Forum, with which the UK signed an MOU to support offshore grid development and renewable energy potential in the North Sea? Well, again, yes, although given that our offshore wind programs, both those already supposedly in train and those not bidding in the latest contract for difference offerings, are in grave question. Again, why would the NESC want to bother?